Hello, this is Aaron Meehan of SG Gaming Info, and welcome to my review of the engrossing and challenging open world puzzle game, The Witness. When it comes to puzzle games, I have never found myself playing them for very long due to frustration from constantly trying and failing to complete puzzles. But Thelka Inc's The Witness was different. It is one of the most challenging games in terms of puzzles I have played, but despite its difficult puzzles, I didn't find myself getting frustrated like I usually would in a puzzle game. In fact, the opposite happened. Every time I failed, I would try again, and if I failed several times, I would just leave the puzzle and move on to one of the game's many other puzzles. What reduced my frustration in the game were two simple things. 1. The game is set on an open world island, which means if you are constantly getting stuck on one puzzle, you can just simply leave it and search for another one. 2. The sound. When it comes to completing anything challenging, or just simply stopping to think, I don't like a copious amount of sounds badgering my eardrums in an effort to distract me. And well, The Witness seems to think the same about sound, because the game has little to no sound, with the game's most distinctive sounds being ambient sound effects, which include the wind and some bird chirping. Okay, I mentioned why the game keeps me from going crazy trying to complete puzzles, but what are the puzzles? The game's puzzles are essentially maze-like route puzzles, with your objective to get from the beginning point to the end point. Now, while this idea sounds simple, the game likes to make things tough by adding mechanics that increase puzzle difficulty. Some of these mechanics include creating Tetris-like patterns before reaching the exit, separating colours, and controlling two lines at the same time, with the added bonus of one of these lines being invisible. As you get further into the game, some puzzles merge these mechanics together. For example, a maze puzzle that requires you to collect all the black dots while separating the colours. The amount of work you need to do to wrap your head around some of the puzzle concepts can be daunting, but nothing beats the feeling of successfully completing a puzzle after what can feel like an innumerable amount of attempts. However, while I praise the puzzles, there is one annoying issue. The fact the game, in my opinion, does a poor job of introducing the various puzzle mechanics you encounter. When it comes to introducing new mechanics, such as separating colours, the game gives you a series of puzzles that increase in difficulty. The theory behind this line of teaching is, the players will notice the pattern required to complete future puzzles that contain the mechanic you are learning. But while this teaching can be considered effective to some, to others it is not. The way the game teaches you each mechanic only focuses on one way of teaching, mainly teaching an action through showing with little to no telling. So if you aren't the type of person who enjoys or is comfortable with this teaching method, you may find yourself in some difficulty. Personally, I would have liked the inclusion of some auditory assistance explaining the puzzle's mechanics. For example, one line could have been, to complete this puzzle you must separate the two different colours. While I disagree how the game teaches players new mechanics, I wouldn't call it a deal breaker, as this teaching method just means you will have to spend more time thinking, or better yet, using a brute force approach by getting some paper and plotting out the numerous numbers of combinations to complete a puzzle. Now, I mentioned a lot about the puzzles, but I haven't said anything about the open world island the puzzles are located on. The island is very much a mysterious location, as it contains various environments such as a desert, a swamp, and plant-rich fields. There's also numerous man-made structures such as a castle and a small village. But despite all the structures, you are the only living soul on the island. The island's layout is simple yet effective, as it raises numerous questions and has you hoping that completing the puzzles will answer some of the questions that won't just go away. Now, as we approach the end of this review, let's talk about the overall visual appearance of the game. The game uses rich colours, lighting, and textures to create a calming, mellow experience that doesn't distract you from your overall goal. The visuals also play a role in solving puzzles, with players required to use the game's lighting and objects such as trees to find the correct pattern to seemingly impossible puzzles. So, in conclusion, The Witness is a challenging and a mysterious puzzle game that will leave you playing for hours, no matter how difficult the puzzles get. So with that said, I give The Witness a score of 9 out of 10, with the game's pros being the game's sound creates a calming atmosphere, puzzles are incredibly challenging, and the island holds numerous mysteries. And the game's one and only con is the game could do a better job of teaching some of its puzzle mechanics. Thank you for watching. Please like, favorite and subscribe. For more gaming information, please visit sggaminginfo.com, and don't forget to like our Facebook page at facebook.com/sggaminginfo, and follow us on Twitter at sggaminginfo.